Hello and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in Spin Tires, and today we are taking a look at a Nissan Pathfinder, a highly modified Nissan Pathfinder. This Pathfinder is caged. It's got really nice tires. It's actually, I'm not quite sure the size of these tires because they don't really say. They look like, if I had to guess, I would say proportionate to the vehicle, I would say they're about 35s. But, I mean, I could be wrong, but personally I would say they're about 35s. You can actually see the Recaro seats in there, which is pretty freaking sweet. They're BFG mud terrains, and we've got bead locks on this thing. It looks like 1-ton axles, a really nice bumper, winch, light setup. Nothing too crazy, but it's a really functional off-road setup. Now, got a couple of things we can do to this thing. Unlike the CJ that we had in the last episode, we've got a toolbox, which you're going to install, a jerry can, which, where does that actually, okay, there it is, I see it. Install, and a beer crate, which, you make your own decision on that one. But, as far as tires go, we've got these default BFG MTs. We've got Goodyear Wrangler MTRs, which are a little bit smaller, but still look pretty good. And then we've got TSL Thornbirds, which the Thornbirds actually look really nice. They look really good. The BFGs look to be, I'm trying to see. They're about the same width as the Thornbirds. I'm going to use the Thornbirds because I really like TSLs as far as like an off-road tire. But what we're going to do is we are going to test this thing out and see how it climbs. Because in the last episode, when we used the CJ, we kind of drove it around. We drove it through a little bit of mud, but we didn't really do a lot of like intense off-roading with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually take this thing down the hill, and then we're going to take it back up and see how it does. And actually, wow. Normally, this map isn't all that clear. You can't actually, you don't normally see that far out. That's really cool. Look at that landscape. And that just looks really good. Oh, that's a thumbnail. That is a thumbnail right there. Oh, dude, that's one hell of a thumbnail. I'm just trying to coast down the hill. And we're going to turn around and see how this thing does as a hill climber. Now, as far as like, would I use one of these in, would I use one of these on a regular basis? I'm not sure. It really depends on how this thing actually kind of does. I'm going to stick it in, set the parking brake. Stick it in probably like the second range of low, like the second stage of low range. This thing crawls. It's really slow, but that's actually a good thing when you're trying to crawl. All right, we're going to need either a different angle or more. Nope, got the grip. Kind of. You can see, wow, you can see it digging into the ground, and the ground like very slightly kind of just moving around. It's very nice. We've come prepared. We've got our emergency toolkit. We've got extra fuel. We've got beer, I guess, for our friends, I guess, that like to drink on this off-roading trip. I highly advise against any kind of drunk off-roading. It's a very, very, very bad idea. Now, as far as, well, you know what? As far as its climbing ability, I'm kind of impressed, actually. I'm kind of impressed, even though we are in a little bit of a rough spot as far as this particular climb goes at the moment. I feel like if we find the right line, these TSLs will dig in just enough and start to get grip. Just let it down just real slowly, real carefully. See if we can take a slightly, nope, that's the problem, is it does dig in really quickly. Well, maybe not. Come on, Pathfinder. Use the grip. Come on. Use the grip of those Thornbirds. Yes. Oh my god. Okay. I'm actually, whoa. Oh god. I was about to go back down. But honestly, I'm very impressed. We were about to actually start to roll back down the mountain. But no, it did its job. It actually did its job quite well. Far from finished, though. Come on, man. Really trying to focus. Trying to, like, kind of Move the front wheels around a little bit so it can constantly be kind of finding grip. You really don't want to get into one position with those front tires, because if you get into one position, they'll just start digging. There we go. We can get it into this notch. If we can get it into this notch and get it to get grip and get up over the ledge, and see if... Yep, there it is. There it is. It takes a little bit of, trial and error to find the right line for this thing. But when you find it, it's actually a really forgiving off-roader. It's kind of like, it's one of those trucks where, not really a truck, it's one of those rigs, I should say, trail rigs, where it allows you to kind of take your time and sort of feel around for, for traction on the surface. But at the same time, you never really kind of lose, you never lose faith that this thing is going to go. Like, because once it finds traction, it's going. It's a done deal. Not saying you won't ever have to winch it, because you might, but... Come on. Oh, these shrubs and trees are getting in my way. Gonna have to find a slightly alternate route through the trees, probably. Come on, there you go. Go, 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 go. There's a tree under the thing right now, but if we can kind of get... Yeah, there we go. If we can move it around it, because I don't want to get it hung up on the front axle. There you go. It moved a little bit. Got a little bit of grip. That tree is our only big problem. There we go. There we go. Yes. Dude. That was awesome. That was legitimate. I did not know if that was going to legitimately make it all the way back up without having to winch once, and it did it. It did it with like flying colors. This thing is a beast now. I am a firm believer in definitely going to be using this thing again. That is definitely that makes this a worthy off-roader for sure. This thing, I mean, there are things that I would consider worthy off-roaders that would have had a lot of trouble with that. I mean, that just kind of took it way up my list of my favorite off-roaders to use in spin tires. This thing is going to be an awesome scout vehicle, an awesome trail rig. You can explore wherever you want with this thing. I almost feel like this would almost be kind of one of those trail rigs that you don't see very often, but it's kind of a hidden gem. I mean, you stick axles under it, maybe some much shorter gears, and, you know, the right tires. You'll have yourself some lockers. You'll have yourself a really, really, really stout platform and a really stout off-roader. Oh, come on. The automatic gearbox in this thing is okay. It's not quite as smart as, like, say like the gearbox in the F350, the blue F350. Oh, God. In the blue F350, but at the same time, I mean, not many gearboxes in spin tires are. That gearbox is a great gearbox, and to me, that's kind of like the template that a lot of, like, if you want to know how to make a good spin tires gearbox, look at the blue F350. The long bed blue F350, it really is. Brute's F350 is a beast of a truck with a beast of an automatic transmission, and I highly recommend that if you're a mod maker and you want to know how to make a good transmission, study that truck. That truck is awesome. Oh, a cloaking point. Sweet. Let's check that thing out. Now, let's see how this thing reacts to mud, like deep mud. And I feel like we may not be able to... Well, actually, we can attempt to get it stuck. Well, wait, what? We were doing that without lockers. That's pretty legit. Hey, this is two-wheel drive, or rather one-wheel drive, because it's unlocked. Alright, so as far as two-wheel drive goes, we're not stuck, actually. I was about to say we're stuck, but... God, it's got so much grip. We're in two-wheel drive with the lockers off and all-wheel drive off. Let's put it in just all-wheel drive with no lockers. And it just goes straight through. Something tells me, and then you put the lockers on, you're golden. Something tells me this thing is going to be quite hard to actually get stuck in the mud. god, it's just like, it just throws it everywhere. It doesn't even care. It's just like, screw you, mud. And I think, too, it's not quite like, for example, you have your like, take the Jeep Wrangler or the Land Cruiser FJ40, and you've got something that is very, very small and very open. Your cabin is very open. It's basically just like steering wheel, seats, and like, a big roll bar. That's about, and a windshield. That's about all you're working with. Whereas something like this, you've got a full body to it, but at the same time, that can work for you and against you. It can work against you in terms of visibility off-road, but at the same time, it can work for you in terms of, like, if you're off-roading, it can serve you in terms of, like, protection against the elements, and say, like, if you got caught out in the snow, caught out in the rain, like a rainstorm, or worse, hail. I mean, you do not want to be in a Jeep Wrangler or a CJ or a FJ40 Land Cruiser and have it start hailing, or, well, much less have it start snowing or raining. If it starts hailing, that's like, you're in for it at that point. You're in for a rough night at that point. But I mean, you better hope you brought your helmet. At least that's about it. You better hope you brought your freaking helmet. Oh, and you can jam it in high and it won't stall. That's legit. Can you stop and start again in high? No, you cannot. But as long as you're rolling, you can get into high, no problem. It's very easy to shift. Oh, God. When it gets gripping high. I mean, look how fast the tires are spinning. It's ridiculous. Ow. Oh, God. But no, this thing does have a good bit of power to it. And I've just realized something. It's got 1,000 available damage points. That puts it a whole lot higher in my book. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You guys need one of these. You guys need one of these. Like, the combination of how many available damage points there are, and, like, combine that with... oh, God, this does the same thing that the JK did on the pavement. When it kind of goes over bumps, it does get damage on it. It understeers as well. But like I said, you guys need one of these. This thing is awesome. Go put this, go install this into your game. I mean, really, really and truly, this thing is really, really, really good. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I would love to do an adventure with this. I mean, if you guys want to see an adventure with the CJ and an adventure with this, dude, I am so up for that. Because both of them, I'm like in love with. I would love to drive both of these. I feel like even in real life, they'd both be really awesome trail rigs. But if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later, and I hope you guys enjoyed.